Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you how to add Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to your BMW. So a company by the name of Joyeauto reached out and offered this hardware for review. Let's unbox it. They have some instructions, quality control certificate, the module itself. That's a microphone, aux cable. That's your Wi-Fi antenna that intercepts your factory stereo harness. That's your AV input, in case you don't already have a rear view camera. It looks to be a USB input for Android Auto. I believe Apple CarPlay is wireless. And these are cables to connect to your screen. So it basically just goes in between and hijacks your factory screen and gives you Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This would apply to any BMW with the NBT navigation system, which came after CIC. So you had CCC, then you had CIC, then you had NBT, and then NBT Evo, and now you have iDrive 7. So this is a 2015 X5 with the NBT system, but this system will work on pretty much any BMW from 2012 to 2016, 3 Series, you name it. And the installation instructions will be very similar to other models, other BMWs, F10, F30, etc. But that's the hardware. Looks like there's also a USB to micro USB adapter in the bag as well. So special thanks to Joyeauto for providing the hardware. Let's go ahead and get the car torn apart and start the installation. So we're going to remove this trim piece here. Use a plastic trim tool to get under there, and then you can use your hands. You could pop off this bezel here, or it just clears. This is the bezel around your gauge cluster. Technically, you're supposed to pop that off, but it can just clear because there's a relief here. So you want to disconnect the harnesses that you can see. So as you can see, I disconnected one harness from right here, and then this white harness as well. It just snaps in here. So you have one white harness here, and then you have one connector right here for your hazards. And that's what they look like. We'll just tuck that back here for now. Now there's 2 T20 Torx on either side that you want to remove. Now you want to pry this forward, and there's a little plastic piece down at the bottom that clips in, but as you pull the stereo forward, that will come apart as well. As you can see, there's just these 2 little pegs that get pulled forward by the stereo, the easiest way to remove it. And you have these cam lock connectors that you can remove, one on each side. We're going to have to remove this screen, and if you look inside here, there's 2 more T20s. So you're going to go after those. But we're just basically popping this little tab in here and then going inside here to pry it free, gently, like that. And if you saw, I popped out this little plastic push pin out of here. At the stereo, there's 4 more T20 Torx. So just pop this one off. What you got to do is push here, and then it'll slide off. So around the back here, you have to pry up right here. And that will come away. Best bet is to set a microfiber towel in here so you don't scratch up your trim. Now we can go after all these connections. And lastly, you have your monitor cable. We'll set the head unit aside. Now we can get busy with swapping things over. We're gonna have to remove this fiber optic cable. You just take a screwdriver and lift up right here. And you'll be able to slide it out. right here. I just lifted up this little tab to remove it. So there's not enough slack on this to be able to move it over to the new harness. Okay, so now that we've removed the fiber optic cable, we'll go ahead and insert this adapter into here. We're good there. Now we'll bring this and insert it into this adapter. So you have the following harness that comes with the kit. That's your power. We're going to plug it in like so. The other end of that is going to go into the video interface right here. It's power in. Now on the back of the video interface, there's a little antenna that you're supposed to screw in for Wi-Fi. Doing that now. You also have your harness for USB input that plugs in right here. We're going to take this video cable now. Pay attention to the fact that it's 90 degrees. There's two cables that come with the kit. You got to bring this down. There's two video output cables that come in the box. You're going to want the one that's 90, this one here. So one of these is for LCD out. Plug it in. So I brought that input cable down. Correction, this is actually an extension cable. You use that. So right here, plug in the monitor cable into LCD input, like so. This is the output cable. So that is routed back up to the top to connect to the monitor. So I was looking for a discrete location to mount the microphone that would be relatively easy, but still within reach. So for the microphone, I'm just planning to leave it right here. Put into that little corner. It's discreet, but you'll also be able to hear it. As you can see, just right here, it stays in there nice and secure. See this green port here? That goes right there for mic input. Okay, so there's a supplied aux cable. So you have from the module's output an audio out connection, and then you have your aux cable here. The other end of that goes to the harness that's going to go back into the back of the stereo, and it says audio in. Before we tuck everything away, we got to check our dip switch settings. Dip switch number 1 should be off because it's the bigger screen. 2 is off by default. 3 should be on because it's an F15 and has ID4. And 4, I want it to be on, which means no reverse guidelines. 5 is off by default. 6, 7 is off by default. And 8 is on because I wanted to just use the original camera system and not interfere. There's no aftermarket camera. So that should be on, which I've set right here. Now we'll tuck this away. With regards to the USB cable, I just stuck it right there so that if you need to access it, it's there. So I just have it there, you can't really tell. Bringing the head unit back over, let's see what happens. So I have enough slack on my monitor cable now. I had to reorient the Joyeauto box. So I put the module straight back, facing up and down, and I have the LCD input and output at the top, and I have the USB input at the bottom. That way there's enough slack on this cable. Got the monitor cable reinstalled. Okay, so key is going in the on position. Everything seems normal. Going over to the iDrive controller, you hold down back and it switches over. So let's play with the setup here. So I'll figure this out and then I'll come back to demonstration. I'm going to connect my Android. So I'm making sure that I connect auxiliary for input. I'm going to hit the back key. So this thing supports wireless Android Auto. Really nice. I'm happy to see that. It also supports wireless Apple Carplay. So I'll demonstrate that as well. Using the iDrive controller is very intuitive to get through all these settings. You can change your apps and whatnot just with the controller. Pretty cool. Hey Google. So that's the main settings menu. I'm connected wirelessly to Android Auto. Really nice. You have general settings here. So that's about it. You basically get to this main menu after hitting back, and then you'll select if you want Android or CarPlay or whatnot. So I'm using my steering wheel controls here. If I just hit back, I have this list here. I can scroll down with the wheel and select it. You can even go through all this. You don't need to use the iDrive controller, you can just use this little rolling wheel. You can go down here within the app. I think that's really neat. Okay, now I'm going to connect Apple CarPlay to this. Alright, so I'm connecting Apple CarPlay now. I'm just going to the Bluetooth section on the phone and clicking Joyeauto to pair. And it has a Bluetooth pairing request. So I'm going to click pair, allow, and use CarPlay. There you go. And just like that, we have CarPlay set up. Pretty neat. It's a pretty seamless and easy setup process.
Where would you like to go? One moment.
Alright, back on Android Auto now. Connected wirelessly. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this product. It was sent to me for free to review. It's not a sponsored video. I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing one. This works on any NBT system from 2012 to 2016, including the 5 Series, 6 Series, you name it. So there's a final look at how I mounted the microphone right there. There is a final look at how I mounted the USB, but we're not really going to need that unless we're doing like system updates and whatnot. So quite happy to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on this car because it's only about 5 years old, but it felt a bit dated without that feature. So again, special thanks to Joyeauto for providing the hardware. It's not a sponsored video, so I'm giving you my honest opinion. It seems to work well. If this is the first video you're catching on mine, consider subscribing. I do upload regularly. Thanks for watching. Wow.